Hello, folks. I am so sorry, to come in a bit late. I think it's the technicals, that I was not getting, properly. But better now that I am here, and this is the second time this has happened, and this is all the process of learning, I believe. And tonight, to present to you. This live presentation from the point of view of marketers, that are in the direct sales industry, or so-called, organic sales or network marketing. And where I come from, is I've been, in the last 2 years, in this industry, and part of, what I've just, been grappling, with, is the learning, and also learning, from other gurus, in the industry, and when you get, to do that, getting uplines, and the like, you get into what I call, perhaps a lot of consumption, and you don't come out, often. And so, this has been, burning in my heart, that, I need to talk to the people, that are, directly involved with what I do. And that is why, you see me here for the first time, some of you, that I come and try and, serve you. And it's been quite a journey. It's been, right in the bottom of my heart that, I need to serve people. Initially, the beginning of this year, some of you might have seen that, I want to serve. But it takes a process, it's all, about, forming the habits. And within my community that I formed, on Facebook, I've been, behind the scenes and learning, the strings. And all I would do, is after work, I still do work. I'd go, live every Monday evening at 8:30 p.m. And, some of you that might have the privilege or the opportunity to come, into the, you'll see a list of, content, that's already there, or covering, what I call the framework, for clarity, service, and growth, which helps, people like you, people maybe at home, in difficult situations, or people that want, to grow a big business, to learn about personal development, serving others, using systems, and developing other leaders, so the business can grow. That's what the framework is all about, and it's about 12 missions that I'm covering. I've already covered 2 missions. Firstly, in January, I was dealing with the clarity around goals and mindset, and in February, I've been covering this particular segment of the systems, the prospecting system, and I've covered 3 lessons on that. And when it came to the last the last lesson, that's when I decided I want to make it a little bit broader, so that it can transform some other people's lives, or have an impact larger in the social media sphere, or people at home. And as I invite you to the last lesson, where we're learning about mindset and the prospecting system, for mindset. And let me, just get into the slides. I hope it will not be, death by power, by power slides. By slides. So just bear with me, as I get the technicals, right here. The prospecting system, the lesson 4, on powerful mindsets, to shift, your results, 10x them, as we like to call them. And this is what we have already learned, in this lesson, in the last 4, the advice on how to move forward. What we learn in this lesson is how to move forward confident, with a new knowledge and skills that we can finally break free from, what's been holding us back. And some of you know might not, you know, I would appreciate might not be in this industry, but you know, some of us, you know, have been in there, and there's certainly some things that hold us back, like I've told you, you know, about, you know, when we sometimes, you know, say we're going to do some things and, you know, we don't do, or maybe when you say, you know, we're going to post item on social media and we don't get to do it, or, you know, we fear to go live. So that's what, you know, I mean, some of the issues, you know, that, you know, we facing the industry are. I hope, you know, you believe me. And so the first lesson, you know, I mean, that's we've covered here, you know, on a prospecting system, you know, is the two big enemies of success, which, you know, are overwhelm and fear. I mean, when you get overwhelmed, you know, with so many things to learn, so many courses, you know, YouTube, Facebook, you know, lives, and, you know, books and materials, it overwhelms, you know, for people, you know, that start in the industry. And that's where we come in and try to help you so that you know, you do the first things first. Just like, you know, I've already itemized to you the first lesson, you know, that we did was covering goals, how to set up your goals, how to clarify, you know, on goals and who you want to serve. That's what we've been covering there. And also fear is one other big, you know, enemy. You know, you fear to go live. And the second lesson, you know, we do it. You know, if I could go, you know, quickly whilst I'm behind the slides, I'll come, you know, forward, you know, and talk to you when I'm going to the nitty-gritty of this lesson. Is you know, number two mistake, you know, that we make, you know, when prospecting or recruiting, you know, is trying to be the experts. For instance, you know, I mean, trying to approach people and then go on to present, you know, maybe what you want to present. That makes it, you know, difficult for other people, you know, to know that's where fear comes in for other people, you know, because you are trying to be the experts. So what we use, you know, is we're trying to make this a simple business, you know, where we use third-party tools. What are third-party tools? You know, I mean, it's things like, you know, I mean, a short video you can send to somebody, or, you know, a brochure you can send them, you know, so they can, you know, they can check on their own. So that, you know, makes it possible for other people to say, well, I don't have to present this. After all, there's a video I can send or a slide I can send. And the third lesson, you know, we learned here was, you know, I mean, the follow-up. You know, when we follow up, you know, on people that have watched, you know, I mean, that video or that slide or whatever deck, or people that you have sent them to, maybe people that you work with who are also third parties, you then go on to follow up, you know, with somebody that you have approached. And that's why, you know, one of the, you know, mistakes, you know, I mean, that come in, you know, what we call the value of death. It's the same thing, you know, but, you know, you are following up, but, you know, you are trying to be the experts. That is the value of death. So what we're always doing, you know, in this business is, you know, man, when you get, you know, man, to check out, you know, with them, what has been best about watching the video or the brochure that you send them, you know, we're only sorting out, as it were, you know, apples. Ones, you know, that are, you know, maybe green, and ones that are red, you know, ripe to eat, and some that are, you know, rotten, you know. Some people, you know, I mean, would never join, you know, network marketing, you know. So, you know, it's pointless, you know, to try and, you know, talk to them, you know, about it, you know, I mean, persuade them, you know. So, you know, I mean, partly, you know, say, you know, we're wasting your time, you know, dealing with them. But it doesn't mean, you know, they might not join, you know. You keep, you know, I mean, your relations with them. Because, you know, I mean, at any one particular time, you know, you don't know, you know, what's, why, you know, they didn't, maybe the circumstances might change. Maybe their boss might, you know, might do something to them, you know, that later, you know, they want, you know, to come on and join, you know, network marketing. or maybe it's two babies that they have now, and they have to support, circumstances change, in simple terms. So there we have you guys, and I just come, so that you will see, I'm still around, and all I'm doing is trying to make it simple for you, to check out, the slides that I've already prepared. So to you, that might also be a third party tool. You might want to borrow my slides and use them. They're quite free, for you to borrow the slides, and because they're already done, you don't have to do anything. You just have to change a few things, if you want to use them. And this is I now get on to the second part of this lesson, which is I've covered the 3 lessons that I've already covered within the Ranking Rangers group, and now I'm going to be covering the subject of this lesson, which is the powerful mindset shifts that you would want to when you go on in this industry prospecting. And bear with me, I'm going to get into the slides again. We've already recapped that. So those are the 3 powerful mindset shifts to 10x your results that we're going to be dealing with. The first one is to focus on activity and not the results. Because what tends to trip us most is when we are looking at the results, what we think maybe somebody will say to us, and then we fear, then we don't do the activity. But the trick here is to be focusing on the activity, even if somebody says no or otherwise, you just keep on the activities. That's how you gain momentum. And the second mindset shift we're going to talk about is start looking at people that say no to you, and as the start of your recruiting section, because it is from the no's that you build your business. The yeses that you build your business, and it's the no's that you get to build your character. You get to build you. And the last lesson, the last mindset shift is stop looking at one right person and focus on becoming them. So in essence, what I was saying is some of the mistake we do is we go with the mindset that when somebody is going to join my business, and what patently you should be saying is how can I grow to attract the type of person that would want to join this business. So it goes back to you, and not going out as if you want to take on people and to recruit people. That's why people shun this industry. So I'm going to do about 2 slides on focusing on the activity. See, by the time you are all done and you get your results, it is through activity. 99% of your work is done. And if you're doing the activities, you will definitely get the results. We don't change our life, we change our habits, and our habits change our life. So it's about changing the habit. Our habits as we do the activities. It's never going to be perfect. Just like I've told you here that when I decided to come live and be and present to you in the wider social media, I had a personal learning to do using systems. How do I present to others? For instance, when I was presenting just by myself, we after work within the group, you would see me. I'll just put up just my my iPhone and log on to the group and start going live. I realized when we go outside of the perimeter of the group and presenting you're learning, and you get into a stage like we are now, there's also a learning curve. Just like I have to learn how do I put presentation so that other people that might not want to hear my voice can just see the slides, and they get the jinx of what I'm talking about. And the last 2 sessions I didn't do them properly. That's why I'm catching up on this, and I'm catching up with this slide. Talking of habits, according to neuroscientists, they have shown that it takes an average of about 65 days to form a really good habit, and maybe a minimum of 21 days. But some people, they learn a little bit faster, and it's clicks. But the generality, if you're learning, some new things, like maybe you are posting a schedule, on the social media, it might not be perfect, when you first post, and you are making some mistakes, in posting, and you fear what people are going to say, that takes a little bit of time. But if you lean into the resistance, that's when you realize that it's now becoming easier and easier, after I've done it maybe for 3 months. So the second lesson, the second powerful shift, we're going to talk about, is start looking at no as the start of the recruiting process. It's never no, it's always not now. So if people say, oh no, I don't want to join this, no, or I don't want to buy your product or whatever, it's not that they might not be familiar, with you. They might not know you. Maybe there's a relationship that hasn't, been built up, and and you need to be patient, with that, developing, the relationship. So it's never no, it's not right now. Here's a question for you. What if someone that you don't know well, or you haven't spoken to in a while? It's just like what I've just been saying to you, that it's a process of developing, the relationship. Now going to the third part, the other powerful mindset shift, is you stop looking for the right person and start focusing on becoming them. In other words, this is a personal growth phenomenon that you have to do. It has been said that network marketing is a personal development program with a compensation plan attached to it. So it's a service and systems development program, or personal development program, or a leadership development program with a compensation plan attached to it. So our job, as network marketers, or as marketers, is to put out a message to let, to teach others. That is where your compensation comes from. Teaching others and showing up consistently, just like as you've learned in the last mindset shift, that you have to grow yourself. You have to develop the habits, and so that you can become the person that can attract others to you. So you're not ever going to be looking up, that oh no, perhaps this guy or this lady will do, and when you see that they don't, they're not interested, then you stop focusing on them, and that will be a powerful mistake, because you are not after prospecting in that way, but you are there to, what I would say is to teach and show people what this industry is, how beautiful it is, and that's where where your compensation really materializes from. If you're feeling stuck for any reason, here is a reminder for you. It is a reminder that your soul, is telling you that you've probably stopped growing in your life. So this industry is all about growth. Say we do this outside the normal, 9 to 5 or shift work, or 9 or 12 to 5 or 12 to 12 or whatever, 4 on 4, and this puts us, in a mind or in the growth zone, which is outside, of what we normally do, looking for a paycheck. So this is outside, thinking outside the box and acting outside the box, and we have to grow, because that system, we are used to, has told us, that you simply have to, to wake up and put on some clothes and go on and do whatever you have to do. There isn't much you have to do. You don't have to save anyone. Maybe you are working behind the computer, punching some stuff, and and that's it. And at 5 o'clock you go back home. But in this, you are going belly to belly, with people, serving them, trying to solve problems. This is a problem solving, arena, where you go on to check out, what problems people have. How can you solve those problems? And that puts you in an uncomfortable zone. So you have to grow. You have to learn a little bit, maybe the videos that I've been talking about, or reading some books, or listening to, to people, that have been, in there, just like, I am. So how do we start growing here? This is how we start, growing. By taking action, it's either you're going to get a result that you want, or you're going to get a lesson that you need if you fail. So if you're not focusing on the results, but principally on the lessons, as you go faster, you learn faster, so that you can get the results that you want. We found out in that slide that by the time you get the results, 99% of your work is done, which are the lessons that you needed. So fail faster and get the results. The no's build you, and the yeses get you the results. One thing we grapple with is our need for control and certainty. We always want something to be certain, to be in control. But like I've just talked to you previously, it's going to come down to the wire, where you have to show up and be in the growth zone, where you're not so much worried about certainty, but you are going for outside the comfort zone, in an uncertain zone. So it's not the certainty that we're going to be dealing with whenever you would want to do the things that you want to achieve in your life. Stop looking at control and certainty. Go out there and impact people, which is pretty uncertain, because that's where the fear, the overwhelm, the perfectionism, name all those issues that we deal with when we go outside to learn in our uncomfortable zone. Bear with me, I just have to check. This is going to be death by slides. But we're just nearing the end. Just bear with me. So the quality of your life and the business success will be in direct proportion to the amount of uncertainty you can comfortably handle each day. Yeah, I just didn't realize, we're just coming now to the end of this depth by slides. And what I want to leave with you, a message I want to leave with you, is we're going to be going very fast, in this month. There's going to be, onboarding. How do you onboard people, that come into your purview or into your arena, or how do you onboard, if you're doing, products and sales, how do you look after that? But onboarding is principally, how do you train new people that come into you? That is what we're going to learn about next. If we're not going to be learning, that system, of onboarding, see that I'm going to come up, is with how we are going to approach social media. And that is principally the lesson for May. But I might just want to switch those two lessons so that we can be in the familiar zone. Because some of you haven't, got as far as, this lesson I've just been dealing with, the powerful mindset shifts, or the two lessons I did one was, the first one was on mindset and clarity. The other one was on the goal achievement system, which I did, in February. And this particular lesson in March, was dealing, with the prospecting system. And so, when talking about the prospecting system, I have, some two assignments. If you can write this down, is how has your need for certainty and control held you back? That's the first thing you want to write down as your assignment. How has your need for certainty held you back, and how can you go forward? If you can write things down, you probably know, the direction you need to take. And the second, assignment that I would want you to do is to reach out to perhaps hundreds or more people, this month. 100 or more people. What is that? Divided by 30 days is 3 people a day. You can certainly do that within the next 30 days, or let's say it's the next 25 days. Maybe four people a day. You can approach them on social media with whatever an opportunity you might have. It's either your products or your opportunity, and you send them, a third party to, you approach them, and then you do the follow-ups. So let's see how that one goes. And for some of you, that might want to learn more about what you do. We have got a community on Facebook, called the Ranking Rangers community, where everybody is free to come in, irrespective of the opportunity that you have. It might not necessarily be an opportunity that I have with my company, because we deal with companies in this industry. So you might come in wanting to just learn, because we are here to share the knowledge. So anybody can get out of the problems that we now face. We've been through the pandemic, and now we've got a war going on. And that certainly means a lot of people are not getting a raw deal, and we need to serve people so that they know there is this industry, and they can have the solution that they need at home. And for some of you, you might want to visit my social profiles on Facebook, or on LinkedIn, or on Instagram, or lately I've also just been on on TikTok. You have to, seriously put, in some content. This is what I'm working on. Hopefully, you're working on that too. If you want to learn about, how you can do that, got, some lessons that I could teach, from a perspective, of growing an organic business. So, with that said, let's say good night. Have a wonderful, rest of the week.